We dreamt of just becoming like local gods, just on a smaller underground circuit. That's what we wanted, and we conquered Des Plaines, but that's about it.
I think they're not ambitious enough to really get in each other's way, to cut a path that's going to piss everybody off. I think they like their little safe element that they've developed over these 10 years. They're very comfortable with it.
We're playing the same venues now that we played 10 years ago, just there's probably a lot less people there.
It makes me uncomfortable when people say, wow, you know, you guys are like legends or something. And it makes me feel like this is over and done with.
Their music, I never think it will appeal to mass audiences at all.
It's funny to think that they've lasted this long, because they don't put a lot of effort into it.
We need to make a big push if we want to keep this band going. We're stagnant right now, and we just got to really turn things around and try to excel in some way possible.
At times we don't communicate, like we'll get together and write music, and then that's where it ends right there. We don't really communicate about anything that's going to happen with the band or anything we're going to do. We just kind of play, and then it's like, okay, when are we going to have any shows? Who knows? It's either that, or it could be that way, or it's we have a show in 3 days, we have to practice at least twice, you know.
It's tough to connect with the audience, to grab the audience, when you don't have an obvious single point, like a lead singer.
Bad vocals and subpar musicians is not what held this band back. It's the fact that we never practice, we're procrastinators, and we're just extremely lazy.
I don't think anyone would debate me on the fact that Tom isn't a gifted singer, but I think he's able to use his voice as an instrument almost.
Tom's vocals are just another instrument. It's just as distorted as Zach's guitar.
I think if we wanted to be like a top 10 radio band, then we might have problems, but I don't think any of us are really aspiring to do that. So
I'm not a great singer, and I'm not I don't want to be a great singer. And the only thing that I have to give to music are the ugly parts.
If Tom were a better singer, that would be great, but the fact that he can control what is going on in a show so well is the greatest thing that he brings to this band.
I don't think we could have done this band without Tom. He's what has controlled the band. He's either brought it back a couple steps or he's pushed it ahead by a mile. So Tom is the band at some point or another.
Yeah! 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 Ah! Ah!
Destroyed. Yeah. Way back, we needed a fifth guitarist to fill out the band, fill out the sound that we were lacking in. We heard about this kid Frankie, and we tried him out, and it worked out awesome.
The first time that we practiced with Frank, he came in and he would play and play and play, and we'd be like, oh, that's good. Oh, well, all right, we're on to something else. Okay, well, that's good. And finally, we would pick a few things out and put a song together.
I think I played better with him. I don't know about the band.
The band was definitely better with Frankie. It was almost as perfect as we could get at that time for being half-ass musicians.
He left such an impact on their music that when he left, I don't think they knew how to handle it.
I think Frank started honestly looking into the future. He was looking at us and he saw what he was going to be, and I don't think he liked it very much.
When we talk about practice, Frankie practices 8 hours a day. We practice 1 hour a week as a group. That's why he quit the band.
It was devastating. It was, but it was also like we were a band without Frank. Before Frank was in the band, we could be a band without Frank after Frank left the band.
I think he just pretty much got sick of us.
I regret leaving the band because, in a way, I felt separated from 4 guys I thought of as being almost like my brothers.
I think most people know the stories about how much Frank wanted to practice with the band and how he wasn't happy with all the drinking before shows.
I think that they wouldn't be able to write some of the stuff they do write if they weren't drunk some of the time. But then again, I think they'd have a lot better shows if they weren't drunk all the time too, so.
I'd say alcohol probably plays a big role in how lazy we are.
Sometimes it's hard to get together and practice. Sometimes we get together when we play 1 or 2 songs and just quit and say, I'd rather go drink.
For a long time, we were playing shows with about 10, 12 beers in us before we played, and we invented this rule, a 2-beer rule that would control how much we had before a show. We never really followed the rule, but we try to get closer to 2 rather than 10.
Not only are they friends, but they're drinking buddies, and if the drinking goes away, then I don't see why the band won't go away too.
We never toured again because we're just too damn lazy. There's never been a time when we've gone off for more than 3 days.
They had a real good situation with Phil, that producer. Unfortunately, he's gone. He passed away.
Phil was one of the first guys to really take Kato and champion them and kind of take them under his wing and say, I believe in what you're doing. You guys are doing the right thing.
Phil Bonnet was able to get them to focus on playing as a unit, so that it wasn't just blasting all the time, blasting energy, which is what you do on a show. I mean, you're playing so hard, you just sweat, and you're bouncing off each other, you're bouncing off the walls, you're bouncing off the equipment, and it's just great. That doesn't make it in the studio when you're trying to record something. So I think Phil was able to get them to parlay that transfer of energy into more subtle structure in the song.
You know what I was saying? I can see. Get punched in! Jesus, the Menards guy! Get out of here! Got a special on lamps?
He was the only guy that we could find that could take our half-ass, hard sound, so distorted, so everything, and condense it down to make it sound halfway decent. He was brilliant.
I think Phil honestly liked us as people and understood us as people.
Phil never just recorded our band. He was a part of what we were doing. Creatively, with the personalities that we had in the band, he could manage that in a way that would get us to come out with something that would finally work. Otherwise, we'd be kind of lost and just be drunk in the studio.
If we ever choose to record again, it's going to be really hard to find someone who would just let us do any of the things we did.
Kato's one of those interesting bands in that you just can't really get your hand around what it is about them. I could say it's Tom's voice or it's Joe's bass playing, but it's not. It's everything they do.
I love your show. I don't solve it. I think what we have here is one biggest thing is a lack of respect. Everyone has a lack of respect for each other.
The first practice was the scariest thing in the world. Because like I said, I did not know J.D. and he's a pretty intimidating guy if you don't know him because he's bigger, you know, and just like,
oh, I got my hair! I went right to him.
I don't think that there's anything I would change about the band. I've been happy with everything that we've done. There's been some low points, there's been some high points, but I couldn't imagine it any other way. So I think that the way that everything has ever gone has been how it should be.
I want to play music because I want to play music, and that's it. I don't really give a crap if it goes over. You know, I don't really care what happens with, you know, any kind of publicity or people getting into it or fame or fortune or anything like that. That doesn't matter. It's just about, like, playing music with guys that I love.
I couldn't even imagine being in another band. I love these guys like they're my brothers, and I could never imagine playing with anyone else.
The thing that motivates me to stay in this band is the fact that I'm playing with my best friends for 10 years. Going out of town, staying in town, recording, practicing, playing live shows. What more could you want in your life than to be with your best friends and do something that you've always wanted to do and you love to do and you're just passionate about? And why not keep going? It's what we have to do. Alcohol plays the biggest role in our band. It's been there from day one almost, and we're still doing it. I'm not laughing, you're laughing, so this is gonna be your fault. We're filming right now in a beer garden in the village.
Half a dozen people nude, and it's a tight quarters, everyone's sweating, kind of uncomfortable.
I honestly would like the band if I did not know them because of their creativity and how strange they really are.
That's good, you're right on.
Sidekick Kato has helped me form into, not saying it's the type of music that I listen to right now, but at the time I was very deep into punk rock music, and it helped me form into
Starts, it's off the hook. I can't say that with a straight face.
I wouldn't say I'm so much a Kato fan. I do like the music, but I'd like to be known as the official Kato mechanic.
Let's shorten that one up right now that you just said.
You don't have enough motivation to keep on practicing. You don't have enough motivation to keep on practicing. People will say, "Oh, have you been drinking?"
Are we gonna be able to film you tonight?
Everything made in Displays is supported by Displays. What's so funny?
Friends, you know, that's what they've always been about.
I try to see you every time I can, to see your face. Just I'm asking if it's recording. You're on.
Those guys are so in love with Displays. It's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, we're taping right now, actually.